Hello everyone, I just want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, April the 14th, and it's about 11:30 in the morning. This is going to just be a quick documentation video. I just needed to document something that happened the other day. So, Monday, I believe it was, which was April the 11th, I went to McDonald's to purchase some food. I actually ate there, believe it or not, 3 times that day. I had a biscuit that morning, I went for lunch, and I also went back for dinner. So the first 2 meals that I purchased was, everything seemed to be okay. However, the last meal that I purchased, which was a 2 cheeseburger combo, was not good. I believe I was poisoned. This isn't the first time that this has happened, not just at McDonald's, but there's been other places I've gone to that I believe they are putting things in my food and poisoning me. I've had to go to the emergency room at least twice here in reference to eating something that I had some type of adverse effect to. So anyway, I purchased the burgers. It was on April the 11th, and it was like 8:13 p.m. That's what's on my receipt. I still have my receipt. After eating the food, I immediately began to feel stiff. And because I had been walking a lot that day, and I have been watching, have been paying more attention to what I'm eating, I was just having a bad couple of days, just with a lot of stress and stuff that I'm dealing with. So I had a few emotional days that I got off track, and this was one of those days. So after eating the food, I immediately felt like stiffness in my hips, and specifically in my left leg. In fact, there's a tightness that's still there, that's going up the back of my thigh and my left leg. There's a tightness, and when I woke up the next morning, my eyes were slightly swollen. The tops of my eyelids were swollen. I also was seeing like my vision was impacted. I do have issues with my vision. I have to be, certain things are triggering. Anything can trigger whatever's going on. Sometimes I see black spots. I don't have floaters. I've had my eyes thoroughly checked out, so I don't know exactly what is causing this, but I'm very careful about my eyes. But it could be something I eat. It could be something my hands. It could be anything that triggers it, but something triggered it, and I believe it was that food. I think that's pretty much it. The main thing is this stiffness in my left leg, and this tightness going up the back of the leg. But that was not there before. It absolutely was not there, as well as my hips just feeling more stiff. It's definitely affected my mobility, so I'm feeling a bit sluggish again, whereas before I was feeling pretty much perfectly fine, outside of just kind of get going in the morning, because my sleeping situation right now is not the greatest. So but this is totally separate. This was totally new. I know for a fact my leg was not feeling like that at all prior to eating this food. So I went back the very next day to McDonald's to report it. I was going to file a claim, because my thought was, if this does not clear up within a couple of days, I'm going to go and have to go to the emergency room. So I wanted to make sure I filed it. Well, actually, let me back up. That night, after I ate the food, I called 911, and I told them what was going on, that I had eaten some food from McDonald's, but I believe it was poisonous. And she asked me if I wanted the officer sent out that evening. And I told her not to worry about it at that point, that I planned to go and speak to the manager the first thing in the next morning. And from there, I would decide what I needed to do. Okay, so the next morning, I was at the McDonald's. And this is what's so interesting. Initially, they told me the manager was there, but it was going to be a minute before he could come out. I waited probably about 20, 30 minutes. The manager still had not come out. I even asked the girl at one point how much longer. She said about 2. And I did ask to speak to the head manager. She said about 2 more minutes. I said, okay. Well, he never came out. The head manager never came out. Instead, an assistant manager came out who was there the whole time. She was actually working behind the counter. So I told her what happened. She said that I needed to speak to the head manager and that he would not be in until the following day. So I said, okay, I will be back. And then, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. But, okay, so she tells me the manager will be in the next morning. At that point, I decided to go ahead and have the police come out. I called 911, told them what had happened, and that I wanted to file a report concerning, some bad food that I got at McDonald's the previous day. So they did send an officer out. The officer spoke to me. He also went inside the McDonald's and spoke to the workers there. Came back. He gave me the typical little card with telling me, when I could get the police report and everything. And at this point, it was, just a report. It wasn't anything criminal at this point. So that's kind of where we ended yesterday. I did not go back yesterday because I just did not feel like dealing with it. But I am going to go back and speak with the manager again today to actually get the claim filed. But this is what is going on. I can't trust eating in these places. These people who are working in these restaurants are contaminating food. Now, there have been times when I've been in this restaurant and the people are extremely nice and genuine. I will say that particular night, there were 2 girls that were there when I went back that had worked the night that I made the order. So I recognized them right away. And one of them had when I went back the next day to report it, one of the girls had a little smirk on her face. Now this McDonald's, once again, is primarily Hispanic. The night that I ordered, it was primarily Hispanic females working. If there were some males there, I didn't see them or they were further back. But what I saw was Hispanic females working the front line. So that one particular girl, when I went back the next day, she had this little smirk on her face. So I have no doubt that they did something, and they know they did something. And then there was another girl. There were 2 girls that worked that morning that were there that night when I ordered, and I recognized both of them. That's what's going on. Like I said, this isn't the first time this has happened. And because of how I've been feeling with this, my movement being limited, I don't know what they're putting in my food, but I do believe they're putting something in my food. The times that I've gone to the emergency room, I've gone twice here and requested a toxicology report, and they act like they can't do it. So it's a big scheme. I don't know. I'm telling you, this is absolutely wrong. If you're going to be working in the food industry and doing things like that, you have no business. If I find out I am sick in any way, you better believe I'm going to sue McDonald's, and you better believe I'm going to file criminal charges against whoever, the entire staff that worked that night if I have to, until they figure out who did what. But this is what I'm dealing with consistently. And again, it's not just McDonald's, it's other places. It's other, even grocery stores. It's all over. It is absolutely ridiculous what is going on. It's criminal. And if you want to hire employees that do this kind of shit, then be prepared to deal with the consequence of it. So that's what's going on. That's what happened Monday. Again, this is probably the third or fourth time that I've had to deal with something like this. Not to count the countless times that I didn't go to the emergency room and felt like something had been done. This is absolutely criminal. These people are criminals. Do you hear me? You have no business in the restaurant business handling people's food if you're going to be putting shit in their food. And I just don't know what else to say. Like I said, I've requested toxicology reports twice. I've gone to the emergency room 4 times here. Twice, I believe, was with reference to food, some type of food poisoning or me being given something that I had an adverse effect to. And I requested toxicology reports twice. They act like they couldn't do it. So I'm just documenting this to make you aware, just as documentation for what has happened. And I'm actually going to show you my receipt. It's very blurry, but here it is. Okay, not a great shot, but I just wanted to put it up so you know that I am telling the truth. And this is going on. This hasn't only been going on here in Miami for me. It was also going on in Georgia. It was definitely going on in Georgia as well. So, like I said, if I find out one thing is wrong with me, and I know that these people are contaminating food, not just in these restaurants, but also in the grocery stores, you better believe I'm going to sue your ass. You better believe I'm coming for your ass. Do you understand? I want to make you aware because, like I said, I believe what they will do to one, they will do to many. Don't ever think that somebody will treat you right and they're mistreating somebody else. So be very careful when you're ordering from these restaurants and you're going out to eat, be it fast food, be it anything, even with your groceries. There's just something really crazy going on in this country. You want to see the butterfly? There's a butterfly. Do you see the butterfly? It just flew right in front of my phone. But anyway, be mindful. I'm as this happens to me, I'm alerting the public because it could be happening to you too. So be very careful when you're ordering in these restaurants. Who's handling, I know you don't have any control of who's handling your food, but hey, try to watch. Make sure they're not putting something in your food because whatever they put in this food has affected my mobility. So it had to be some type of drug or something. But anyway, I'm just giving you the 411. My circumstances are a little tight right now, so I don't have the luxury of being able to cook at home and prepare food. And even still, I have concerns about the food I'm getting from the grocery stores. It's just ridiculous. So, but if I had the option, I wouldn't be eating out at all, period. I don't trust it. And this has been going on for too long. So I'm making you aware so that you can also be on guard when you go through these restaurants and what these employees are doing. And if you're an employer, if you're one of these fast food restaurants or any restaurant, and you're employing people that are contaminating people's food, then be prepared to be sued. If that's the type of people you're going to have working for your company, representing your company and causing harm to other people, then your ass is going to get sued. Thanks for listening.